and that's what I didn't do. And the holidays been kind of rough because, well, we'll talk about that. Hey! So anyway.
So we about to start. All right, so let me get my mouth wet real quick. Let me get this water. Jamie, look.
No, you hear Keys? Do you hear Keys?
Y'all dirty
Get
already.
that moisture. I ain't gonna say.
Welcome to the RevUpFitness Podcast. The show for fitness professionals and fitness enthusiasts.
Hey, pay attention. Hey, for 39 seconds, I need your attention.
Go behind the scenes of the health and wellness industry with us. Starting your host, Fit with CJ, side hustle mentor, and the lovely Electric Fit.
It's my favorite podcast.
And the show starts right now.
You rigged it.
I rigged it as best we could. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the RevUpFitness Podcast. We are back. We have the full crew here today, and we have a special guest. I'm going to start introducing myself, Fit with CJ, and I'm also here with Electric Fit.
Hey, everyone. Electric Fit, a.k.a. Jamie. Good morning.
And we have our special guest today.
What's going on, y'all? It's Coco Chanel Jonez with a Z, a.k.a. the Mademoiselle of the Fitness business.
And, of course, we have my buddy, my sidekick, my partner, side hustle mentor somewhere in the world right now. He's dialing in from somewhere. Where are you, Marquise?
Hey, what's going on, folks? This is your boy, Side Hustle Mentor, calling in right now from Michigan, and I help entrepreneurs grow their business with automation, and I'm looking forward to having a great conversation today.
Cool. Well, welcome, everyone. We are here at the Russell Center of Excellence, and we wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things with our full crew here, Electric Fit, myself, Side Hustle Mentor, and Miss Coco Chanel Jonez. As you guys know, we just came back from Aruba. We just came back from the Fitcation 2019. Yo, tell Jamie, tell me about Fitcation. Everyone was asking me about it. They saw the trailers online. They saw the promos. Tell me, what was Fitcation to you?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I put you on the spot.
Oh, my gosh. I swear it feels like we just got back, but a month passed by so fast. Fitcation was everything. Like, we were scrambling up front because we was just, so anxious to get there. But, once we got there, it was bigger than what we expected. The camaraderie, the things that we learned. Of course, the workouts were pretty fly, too. I'm just saying. But building new friendships, but most importantly, friendships that last beyond the trip. We cross-pollinating resources, learning from each other, just so much. If you are a fitness professional, it's morning. So anyway, if you are a fitness professional and you are not going to make it to Fitcation 2020, shame on you. Shame on you. So I'm going to say this right now. Now's the time to get your mind ready. We're all on the 2020, what we're going to do better, how we want to grow. This is definitely an awesome opportunity to not only grow, but you have a little fun and you grow genuine relationships going forward.
Correct. Coco, you saw Fitcation from the outside.
Man,
I wish you could have been there this year.
I was jealous.
I know. So what did you see from Fitcation, from the outside perspective?
Man, I saw so many different colors. I love the scenic. Man, this girl, I'm just thinking about this particular outfit. She was wearing a yoga outfit that was rainbowish.
Yeah, you're talking about Fiona.
Man, but yeah, I saw you guys having fun out there. I saw you guys sweating. I did tell CJ, I was just where the footage at? Because he was doing so much behind the scenes. So I definitely want to say, commend to y'all. Because I am excited for 2020, for real. Because it looks super lit, even with, the little bit of fillers that we got. But CJ, he showed me some things that y'all got in the vault. And I'm like, it's Fitcation is lit. You manifested that. Y'all manifested that.
Yeah, we put it together. We made it happen. I mean, it was a struggle. This is one of those testaments to just sticking to it. When you put the idea out there, there were things that could have went wrong, and things do go wrong, right? But you overcome them. You overcome them, and you get better from it, and that's why 2020 is going to be even better. Because when you first venture out to anything, if you stop at that first roadblock, you'll never complete through anything.
Right.
You'll never finish. You'll never learn. So that was one thing with vacation I definitely took from it. I was so excited. Like Jamie said, when we got there, it was bigger than what I thought.
Yeah.
I literally was like, holy crap, we're taking people halfway around the world. Like,
Yeah.
I really just, I couldn't, like, picture it. And then when I was sitting on the beach, me and Marquise were there a couple of days early. We were like, man, these people are really coming for us. Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're coming to network. They're coming to, to meet each other, and strangers that don't know each other. And they're going
Right.
to leave family. You know what I mean? And so, Side Hustle Mentor Marquise, I'll let you go ahead and, give your take on it real quick.
Yeah, just like you mentioned, before the event even started, I remember we went down to the beach and we took our photos of our sky prayers, just, just manifesting it from above, because we were about to do something that we had talked about months ago, and now that date had finally come, that we were going to be traveling with so many different individuals. And it was a fun thing, but it was a scary thing at the same time. But through it all, we just wanted to persevere and make sure it was a successful event. And it was, by definitely, first and foremost, the workouts was just amazing. I mean, Jamie almost killed my ass on the beach, but
almost? No, you died, bro. You died.
Almost. I think I did die.
Look, she
But
came over to me.
I came back. I came back with a mission, because now, I definitely jump started and got me a personal trainer and everything since then.
Nice.
Oh, awesome. You didn't die. You were reborn.
I was reborn,
like
for
that.
sure.
Resurrected.
Resurrected. But yeah, you see the picture, she'd be like, yeah, is he breathing? I don't know if he still got it in him or not, but yeah.
After that workout, I was looking for you. I couldn't find you. I was like, where you at? Yeah. She came to me. She's like, is he okay? But no, at the end of the day, it was hot as hell out there.
It was.
It was hot. And I was like dying myself, to be honest. Like, the thing is, for me, I'm able to turn it on when the camera turns on. So as soon as I saw the camera came my way, I was like, okay, let me give it good 15, 30 seconds.
CJ, an actor.
Then as soon as the camera went away, I was like, I stopped. And then Jamie would catch me. She'd be like, come on, CJ, let's go. So she
right.
pushed
I'm like,
us.
let me just get a few good shots in real quick before I die.
No, you did great. Y'all did great. Now I have to say, I just heard CJ say, there were a few hiccups along the way. When I say, if y'all want to call them hiccups, y'all handled the hiccups like so smoothly. It was almost unnoticeable. So that says a lot for y'all's professionalism and your character. I mean, everything flowed so smoothly, and we all had such a blast. It's just like it was just effortless. So
I appreciate
just had
that.
to let y'all know that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that's one thing for us. It's all about how you handle it, and some of that, like if you let the moment like make you emotional and things like that, things can go astray. So you just have to stay focused, stay like, okay, let's get back on track. What do we need to do? And so, with anything, when you bring 17 people across the world, we have people that didn't get their luggage on time. That's nothing that we can control, right? That unfortunately Delta Airlines, do something. Yes. Not to call out Delta, I love Delta, but I'm just saying, Delta. I'm just saying, if you're listening, I need some more air miles. But if they lose their luggage, and that brings down the mood, stuff like that, people get upset. So I get it. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of overcome certain things, and you have to just kind of say, hey, we're here for a bigger purpose. Let's go ahead and just try to bring the more positivity to it, and then keep everyone on track. And let's say this. Coco, I wish you were there, but that's what's happening is she's going to come next year, so it's going to be even bigger, better. Coco is in. She said all in.
I'm just too excited. I'm too excited.
So Coco, let's talk about you for a second.
All right, let's do it.
So a lot of people came to me this past year because we've known each other for how long now? How long?
We've been following each other on Instagram, but I think we got to know each other really well this past year.
Yeah, this
2019.
past year. And a lot of people on my channel, they were saying, hey, who's this personal trainer? Who's this personal trainer? They saw you align with the race because we work together on the race a lot.
Right.
And a lot of people think you're just a personal trainer.
Right.
So I want you to go ahead and let's clear that. Let's put it out there. Let them know all the talents, all the skills of Coco Chanel Jonez.
All right, I'm going to pick up the mic and let them lay it down. All right.
Lay down those bars.
So I coined myself the Mademoiselle of Fitness because I actually help other fitness professionals, fitpreneurs build their brand. I started off doing trained fitness as a group instructor. I segued into personal training. And then I just started kind of trying to feel where my market and my niche was. And I started gaining not only like customers for personal training, but personal trainers were coming to me as like, yo, your brand is lit. Like, I need you to help me with mine. And I'm like, I ain't really like certified for it. But then I started seeing that I had a knack at just aesthetics, filming, capturing moments, and just kind of packaging it, making it look pretty or neat, nice. So yeah, that's what I do as of right now. So I'm a social media content manager for the race, as well as my other fitpreneur clients that I do have. And it doesn't always have to be exactly fitpreneurs, but people who are also fitness enthusiasts, because I feel like we got the best energy. So yeah, that's what I do.
And you host these races now. You know, that's a new thing. Man, new thing you're into now.
So our boss, who organized the race, she kind of put me on the spot. I've always known how to like rock the mic in a fitness setting, but not necessarily like in a party setting or where there's a whole bunch of people. And Tess was just kind of like, you got the personality, just go out there and do it. I have faith in you. And I was just like, I ain't opposed to it, but I'm not going to completely shut it down. And God has just blessed me with hosting events ever since Tess kind of saw that in me. So,
do you want to shout out some of their brands and some of your clients, some of the people you work with?
D Williams, what's up, girl? B, we got April the Fitress. We work Running Nerds. Yeah, Running Nerds, The Race, of course, and anybody else and everybody else who's been holding it down. Multi Fitness. What's up, y'all? Like, what's really good? Y'all helped me put it on the map.
Oh yeah. I look at I follow all those people. I watch all, and I can see, you know, I can see that a little bit of Coco in all of them. You know, what I see a little bit. So Jamie, right now, when it comes to you know, personal trainers and the social media game and stuff, what kind of things do you think Coco might want to, you know, put out there for up and coming personal trainers? What kind of things you think they need help with? Things that she can, you know, provide to bring them some value.
Definitely with content and page presentation. Sometimes you can visit a page and you kind of not understand the exact angle because, you know, you multi-focus, so you don't have that one focus.
Right.
So I definitely think that she would be awesome. Well, have you helped people in that area?
I have.
Okay.
I've created, now it hasn't, I've done like webinars, so it hasn't been something like, I've been doing consecutively because it's something I've just gotten into, but I've done like 2 webinars that went pretty great, just helping them kind of direct themselves, because it's all about brand stamina, right?
Right.
You got to know your direction. You got to have the discipline. You got to have the stamina in order to build the legacy of your brand, because we're talking about generational wealth, right? So you have to understand like who your customers are, if they need help. But other than that, that's how I got into the business. So I'm still learning how to scale it, but yeah, it's just one of those conversations that I love having with people who are trying to find their direction as being a fitness professional, because it's a lot of us that's lost. That's a lot of us that's lost.
I feel you. What are the most common? I don't like to use the word mistakes, but what are the most common things you see on social media that you know, fitness professionals can do better or capitalize on to kind of get more notice to their brand?
It's a couple of things. Number one, I feel like their creativity needs to be increased or challenged in a such, because we're all being replicated as the same type of person, because everybody wants to be a fitness influencer, and maybe that's just not your position. Maybe you're supposed to be helping these people that are in your community or in your area, which is fine if you want to touch other people, but you have to know how to do it. So I would say everybody trying to be a fitness influencer, the lack of creativity, and I want to, can I get real here? Because I want to say it.
I'll give it to us.
Okay.
Yes.
The fact that people are using the visual of sex in their fitness videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know that sex sells, but use what you got to get what you need. but don't exploit it. That's just how I feel. Because we as fitness professionals, I feel like we have I know we have a responsibility to help other people,
Right.
but then the message gets lost when it's completely focused on us and our vanity. So
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said it.
I definitely agree.
clothes, the earrings, like all of that. And that's who I was named after. So generally, when I had hired some brand coaches. That's how I know like all the stuff that I know. They were like, why don't you just use your name? Because I was hiding behind other stuff like Bodyworks Project and the Workout Artist. Like I've had so many brand names and businesses that have failed, let me tell you. So that's why I know like about brand stamina and all of that, because it's like you got to keep going regardless. So this is not my first name change, but it was kind of I don't know, it was kind of sudden and out of the blue, because a part of me knew, hey, you might get hit up by the original Coco Chanel and they tell you, you know, like you gotta, what is that, cease and desist.
Yeah.
Another part of me was like, I ain't gonna get that big. They ain't gonna recognize who I am. Got an email from the trademark attorneys of Coco Chanel. Yeah. So basically they was just like, you can't run up with the swag because that's gonna confuse our audience. It's it's competing and likeliness and all of that. But one thing I can say is they said they didn't want to get in the way of my entrepreneurship. So they said I can run with Coco Chanel Jonez Fitness. And I was just kind of like scratching my head. Me and CJ have had this talk about like, we put so much emphasis on the name of our brands and we'll be like, well, that's too long. He's like, it don't matter if it's too long or not. If it's catchy, people are going to remember it. But then I started to remember, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm getting into the branding. I'm getting into the marketing. Let me just go ahead and drop fitness and just use my name. And I never really liked how Jones looked with an S, so I added the zesty Z at the end. So that's the reason for my rebranding. So I didn't want to get sued, basically. But, I mean, it's really great because I look at it from a whole different perspective. Like, I'm really out here in these streets. They coming for your girl. But now, I mean, I just gotta up my game and offer the services that you guys were speaking of before.
Really made me feel any type of way. I don't know. I was just like, look, I still got plenty of time. I just thought, well, I don't really look at numbers, so to speak. Okay. Now I'll tell you why. And I'll just speak from something a little petty that my cousin used to do when I was little. So I've always played sports, always been athletic. So she was like, yeah, when you stop playing sports, when you get about 18, 19, you're going to get fat. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. And I had different friends. You know, it was just certain things in my life. Oh, by this age, this. Oh, by this age, that. And then I've seen people, oh, by this age, I'm getting married. Oh, by this age, whatever the case. But I'm like, why do we put time limits on ourselves and get so concerned about by this age, this age? Because all of our purposes and our plans are different. And if we all do everything by a certain age,
that's true. Like,
what the heck is going on in the universe?
Now, how old were you when you came to this, like, recollection?
You know what? I think it started in undergrad because I've really been like a super free spirit forever, and being raised by my grandmother.
Saggy.
But I'm telling you, being raised by my grandmother, having that old school, and you know, she passed away about 13 months ago, but she was 96. OG.
Wow.
Rest in heaven, G-Mom.
Wow. Yeah.
Rest in heaven,
She's
G-Mom.
actually mama. She had me since I was 6 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's
amazing.
mama. So,
Amazing.
I just want, so now when I say mama, y'all know what I'm talking about. Because that was my mom. But very biblical, but more than biblical, she was extremely spiritual, and she tried to instill in me the difference between having head knowledge and heart knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, and she said, you know, we have too much head knowledge, things that we learn, things that we acquire. Learned behaviors mess us up all the time, which goes back to the age thing or whatever the case. And instead of going with the things that are in your heart, you got to have a balance, and you got to have a spiritual balance.
Right.
So all the things she instilled in me, and I just started looking at life different. And my friends were like, oh, by 30, we need to do X, Y, Z. And I had to tell one of my friends, I was like, look, my 20s are for me. I'm not worried about kids. I'm not worried about marriage.
Why was
I'm
it
gonna
you,
do
my
me.
friend?
No, I was living here, but I mean, not in undergrad. But I just came to that point, so I don't even talk about numbers. I just talk about have I grown. And I didn't get to do a lot for my birthday, but when I talked to CJ, and I was like, when I see myself from 2018 to 2019, it's definitely been a lot of growth. Maybe not everything I wanted, but a lot of things that set the tone, that built a foundation.
Huge growth. I'm telling you, huge growth.
He can tell you.
Look.
Y'all, 7-year friendship, right?
Yeah.
8, 9, 10.
He be lying. No, it ain't been
I
living
change
here
it
that
every
long.
time I talk
I
about
don't know. Every time I ask them, I get a different answer. So.
Yeah.
it. But it's around 7.
Yeah. Coming up very soon. Yeah. So definitely 2013. So definitely about that time.
But yeah, like I was
Yeah.
at her first boot camp. Where was this at? Where was your first?
It was in Kennesaw.
In Kennesaw for an apartment complex out
Shout
there.
out to the KSU house.
Well, actually, disclaimer: I was doing some with the team when I worked at LA Fitness, but nothing like just electric fit. It was
Gotcha.
just like what the trainers were.
That was the first official electric fit.
By myself.
Yes,
Nobody
on your
telling me
own.
what segment I'm running or giving me ideas. I just had to kind of figure it out. So
okay.
Yeah, and that was a year ago.
It was November, the beginning of November 2018.
And a year later, you're hosting the international workout in
That's
Aruba.
crazy.
Is that what happened?
You would have seen that
That's
vacation
crazy.
workout.
Oh, thank you so much for believing in me, guys. When I tell you, and CJ can attest to this, everything was off the dome 10 minutes before the workout.
Yes.
I personally feel like when you're in your space,
Your element.
I can be a planner with some things, but some things I'm not because I have to have a certain level of free spiritness. I have to have that. So I'm just telling you.
I feel you.
Because everything can't be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm like, no,
Sometimes you got to peep the scene or peep the environment that you in. Like everybody may not be able to be full throttle workout. Maybe you want to throw in some spice in there.
Yes.
So personal trainers, they gotta be listening to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know how you're saying most personal trainers map out a workout, but they stick to it no matter what. But you're saying you get there in the moment, you feel out the people, you feel what's going on, and you adjust.
Absolutely. Like I may have an abstract blueprint, but I look at, and I adjust along the way. I may have something in my brain that I want people to do, but when I start seeing, how everyone's performing in their element, I will deviate some things because I want people to feel good about themselves and do what they're capable of, but be challenged at the same time.
You want to give them hope.
Exactly.
Because they got to come back. We want them to come back.
Look.
Yeah, because I remember even asking you, like, man, this workout was amazing, especially the one we did outside. I was the one that actually made it all the way completely through. I didn't die through that one. But I was like, so that was a shout out to myself.
No,
but
I
did remember asking you.
Go ahead.
I remember asking you, like, man, how long did it take you to come up with this? And you was like, I think I did it just this morning. I was like, oh, wow. So, you kind of came up with that real quick.
But that just shows you how professional and educated you are as a fitness professional. Because you got to know, do you think Beyonce, if the music turned off, do you think Beyonce just going to stop? With,
No.
You know what I'm saying? No. She going to acapella that thing. You got to roll with it. So I look at I don't know if you do, Jamie, you probably do so, just knowing your spirit. But I know when I'm instructing, I'm performing. It's a performance. You are about to have the experience of your life while you are in this environment with me. Because, again, I want you to be challenged, but I still want you to feel hopeful. And then a lot of my clients, they like the fact that I provide a comedic relief because it doesn't always have to be serious. I do want you to reach your goal, but again, I want you to be able to reach your goal at your pace with what it is that you can find out that you can do. But I don't want to slaughter you. I don't want to kill you. But again, I do want you to come back. So it comes back to that. Being able to, I don't know, what is it? Get up on your tippy toes. Something about tippy toes. Freestyle on tippy toes. Anyway, you was able to arise to the occasion. There we go.
I get you. I'm with you.
What happened?
I was thinking about this quote, this tippy toe quote. I'm trying to.
Oh, you trying to come up with it? No, it's cool. It's cool. But why you could come back to it. We'll come back to it. But there's one thing I do want to talk to you about definitely before. So I want to make sure it fits into the meeting today.
Yes.
When it comes to 2020, we're in 2020 now. What are some things, I think we can all chip in on this, that we would like to see personal trainers or fitness influencers, people on social media, do to take their presence to the next level? Because everyone has a clip of them working out, right? I can see so many people do deadlifts or push-ups. And there's only so many different ways you can do it, right? What is different about your content? What can we give some tips that will make people stand out differently in 2020? Because just for myself, for example, like I try to be creative as I possible, and I try to. That's why I kind of slow down on my posts as well, because I don't post every single day, because you burn through content so fast. It's just so fast. So I'd rather have one post and then run ads to it for 3 or 4 days, than to post 4 things in a row and then I don't have content, right? So, but like some of the things I would like to see people get creative and put more investment into a videographer or a professional editor, someone who can take their content to the next level as far as editing, because there's only so much you can do on your phone. I would like to see that. That's something I think personal trainers or just anyone in the social media game should do in 2020.
I agree.
With me, it's twofold. One thing is the education behind the workout. It's so many people, and then just us being more transparent, because I hear so many people like coming to the gym. Oh, I saw this young lady do this on Instagram, so I'm gonna do it. All of us have different body types.
Jamie, you better talk. Preach, Jamie. Preach.
All of us have different body types. So, and you don't know that person's foundation, where they started, how they got to where they have, or the consistency, everything behind the scenes. So to just watch something on Instagram and to go in the gym and just do it without understanding everything behind it, and then getting frustrated and burned out quickly and giving up, it happens a lot. You need to know proper form, because even if you're doing the workout, if you're not doing it correctly, you're still not moving forward, and you're creating a space for energy. So I think we have a certain onus on us, or a responsibility, that as we're showing the things that we do, and I'm not, I got into it lately, but I had a fallback. I'm not a long caption person. So I have to find a balance where some days I'm just not really into the caption, but if something is really important, I think somebody may see this and want to try it, that I'm guiding them correctly and saying, this is how you do this. Or there's a way that, hey, DM me for more information, because you don't want people to go in the gym and say, oh, hey, I saw Electric Fit do this, or I saw Coco do this, and they don't get the full picture. Like, we have to be more accessible to people who are purchasing our programs, putting money in our pockets, or that we just see, to help guide properly. And we're building these relationships that people trust in us to watch what we do. So it's a responsibility as we want to grow, our community, to be there for our community.
So definitely education, and then Coco.
I agree. It's a combination of both of y'all's too. The creativity, and I believe what you used as far as like transparency, I was going to piggyback off of just making it more personal. Again, like, I know you're saying some people, they don't know how to do the long captions, and sometimes you don't have to, but the transparency is important if you're trying to connect with your audience. So the example that I use is I have a disdain for the trainers that will quote this: take care of your temple because it's the only one you got, with a photo or a video. And it's kind of like, if you really want to capture some people and help some people, you're going to have to go just a little bit deeper, because the photo that you're posting looks kind of vain. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a purpose behind other than the surface level. So I would say, even being able to relay that message and communicating with the audience of your personal story. Why is this so important to you, and why do I need to listen? Like, what am I going to get out of it? So that's what I would say. Just put more thought into what you're posting. So again, with the creativity and the transparency, just personality and communication. That's how you grab people.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some great points as well. And so I pretty much agree with all three of you. And so I think it's a combination of all that. And for me, I think my answer would be, I would say probably focus more on a specialty in personal training versus kind of just being generic with your messaging.
Yes.
So say, for instance, saying I'm a personal trainer versus I'm a personal trainer who helps dads ditch meat and go vegan.
Right.
Because I think when you're a little bit more specific with your message, people think you're a little bit more of an authority. So you might have a smaller pool of people, but you're impacting more people because you're speaking much more directly to them. And that just makes you more of an authority, I feel, versus having to compete with so many other people that are just kind of in a personal trainer mindset, but really not kind of like distinguishing themselves from the next person.
Exactly. Find your niche and stick to it.
I have
Find your niche and stick to it.
I have a quick question for Coco before I know you guys grab the mic real quick.
We're not like that. Go ahead.
Oh, and just like that, my brain went, whoo. Like, give me a second.
Oh, she wanted it, and then she pulled back.
In there. Oh, my God.
Gotta be quicker than that.
You gotta be quicker than that, buddy.
We'll come back around, too. I might need to type in my notes.
No, but this kind of leads into the next thing. One thing I would say, too, going into 2020, the importance of building a team. If you really want to scale a brand in your business, if you're trying to do everything yourself, you will struggle. You'll find it hard to get where you want to go. You can go further together with people. So I tell people all the time, I was like, you know what? There's no way I could have did vacation by myself. There's no way I can do what I want to do with RevUpFitness. I would have been dead. I would have been dead somewhere. But,
it's jokes.
You just can't get to where you want to go by yourself. You need people around you that align with your energy, that align with your vision, and that trust in you to make things happen. So that's going into 2020. One thing I would say is stop trying to do everything solo. If you're trying to do everything solo, you're going to struggle.
Boy.
I agree with you, and just having the right alignment. I see a lot of posts, or even talking to people about hustle. Alignment beats hustle, but hustle has to be present.
Where's she dropping gems? Hold on.
I'm just saying, hustle has to be present. Yeah. But you have so many people hustling, going nowhere fast because they're out of alignment.
The hamster wheel.
You know how you can be busy but still be unproductive? I've been that person, so I will talk about myself. Yes.
You talk about me too. You talk about me too.
I'm just saying, I have to be honest. If I'm going to give some advice to someone, then I have to put myself out there.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've struggled with that. And I've, went through the stage hustle, but you're going nowhere fast because you're not searching for alignment, or whatever your beliefs are, whether you're praying, meditating, or however you're getting yourself centered and spiritually grounded. That's important. Whether you believe it or not, there's a lot of things beyond our control, but we like to control stuff and make stuff happen. And yeah, you can control stuff to a certain extent, but when things are not built on the right foundation, you'll get a little rope. And like my grandmother used to say, you get enough rope to hang yourself. And then when you hang yourself, you have to start from the beginning again. So you hustle alignment. Alignment.
I think everybody everybody gets caught up in that hustle 24/7 mentality because it sounds cool and everything, and there's so many T-shirts that say it. And even when I started with like the whole side hustle mentor brand name myself, I was thinking hustle 24/7. But I totally found that was the fastest way to run myself into the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to, get myself out of this grind or whatnot. So that's why, for me now, that's why I teach other entrepreneurs things like automation, because that's the closest thing that you could probably get to a team without hiring someone, because you might not have the funds to necessarily hire additional people to help you. So you're not a solopreneur, but you could, find technology and automate certain things in your business. So if you did have a team member, so you're not running yourself into the ground. So definitely don't hustle 24/7, just hustle smarter. That's really what the name of the game is going to be.
Well, Keith, the irony in all this, I agree with you, is when we're all in alignment and we have the right energy and the right team, now we hustle together. So the hustle has its place, but now the hustle is more deliberate. It's going the right way, and we're doing it together. So definitely hustle, but make sure you're in alignment first.
And I
Yeah,
want
it's
to
definitely a team building an exercise when you're like trying to create wealth with a lot of people. You can't do it yourself. It's definitely a team experience.
And I just wanted to piggyback off of everything that y'all was saying. Because brand stamina is so important to me. Like, the endurance of your brand and your business is so important. Because if you look at all these major corporations and businesses, it's like Fortune 500 companies, you know, like they have a team, they have a squad, they have an organization. You know what I'm saying? So, again, piggybacking off of what you guys are saying, when you're doing it by yourself, that's the quickest way to crash and burn. But if you got some people with you, your brand is going to last way longer than your expectancy.
Yeah.
So you guys may have heard this other topic that's going on recently, is that Instagram is, playing with the idea of taking away likes.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? They're playing with the idea of doing this little trial that's going on. And I don't know if
They've already started it, haven't they?
Yeah, they started in a few places.
In other countries.
And actually here in the U.S., there's actually someone I know in Atlanta showed me their Instagram, and it did not have likes on it.
Is it influencer on a certain level, or just in? Like, is it a large community they have, or smaller? Or
I would say they have around 3,000 to 4,000 followers.
Okay, so they're testing it on just a random
people.
Okay.
So and that's the thing, right? I don't know if it's actually going to hit or not here in the U.S., but I know for sure they're testing it here because I've seen it with some of my own eyes, and it's just weird. Like, I don't know how I would feel not seeing likes, but I was just thinking about it from the concept of within the health and wellness industry. I think it might help.
It will. It will.
Because, the first thing we do when we look at a post is we see the content, and the next thing you do is you literally see how popular it is.
Right.
And it's almost like it validates the post before we even have our own emotional reaction to it. What do we feel about the post before we see what other people think about it first? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, if it actually hits?
First of all, we all got to get back to individuality and what we genuinely like instead of what the masses like. When we do things because, my friend liked this post, so I'm just going to like it just because, or they have this much, so I'm just going to add to it. Like, do you really resonate with it? Do you really, how does it touch or hit you? And genuinely like it. You don't have to see what's going on the other side. Like what you like, basically, instead of being led by numbers. And so I get it. I get it because we've been conditioned a certain way. Like from birth, numbers. We're conditioned from the beginning of time. Like, how old are you? Like, happy first birthday. You have to make this much money. You have to do this in a certain amount of years. Everything is like a numbers game that's unconsciously been ingrained in us over time. So we're always looking for numbers. I have to make 6 figures. I have to become a millionaire. This is how many hours in a day. I work a 9 to 5. Like, numbers are all around us.
They are.
And looking for numbers for validation has become a way of life. So to kind of unlearn what we're conditioned bit by bit and with this conversation about the likes, just genuinely relying on what do I really feel, what do I really like outside of how many.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't feel any type of way about it.
I think it's definitely a healthy method that's going to help because, more than just outside of the health and fitness industry, because I have younger cousins who are girls, and I have younger clients who are girls who are like 17, 21 years old, and they're affected by this. They're looking at girls who they want that body type, or they want her hair, or like, or even young men. Like, we thought hip hop was straying the young men's mind to like money, hoes. Am I allowed to say? I'm sorry. Okay. I was like, but we thought that was a problem in the music, but now it's like being seen all over social media. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it does speak it speaks volumes. But it does depend on the person. Can you use social media responsibly enough so it won't affect your self-love or self-care? You know what I'm saying? Or are you that person that this is going to benefit you. I feel like they should give people a choice, to be honest with you, because some of us want to know which of our audiences is like really digging the, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you can see it on your end if it's
Oh,
you but
you can still see your own?
You can see how many people like your post, but
you can't
your
see
community can't see.
Yes, you can still see the analytics and see who's liking it, who's not. But
got it. Oh, well, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. It's just like people who are viewing, they can't determine, okay, you have this many, so I'll add a like to it. That's why I was like saying, like what you like, don't be led.
Right.
Because there are some people, well, if my friend doesn't like it, or if my friend likes it, I'm just following suit. But like, and it's also forcing people to really work to really get the likes, like genuinely, instead of just relying on just because. Or you get to see who's really like into it, like for real. So.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the fitness industry, you know, there's people who just put content out there just to get likes, like let's just say the Instagram models, or stuff like that. And so I don't know how it's gonna affect. I know that's gonna change the game for them if it hits, right? Because
that's.
Some of them use that to get jobs.
Yeah.
Some of them use that to get the jobs.
But here's the thing, like, it's cool to do it, but it's like if it's all the same, like it's gonna force people to be different. It's gonna force you to because really what's gonna come down to is they're not gonna judge you by the likes, they're gonna judge you by the comments.
Yeah.
And how can you invoke people to be that invested or that emotional to actually respond to you? It's not just a matter of quick like. They actually have to take the time. Now they have to type something out.
Because a comment takes more energy than a like does. Because, you know, people lazy with their fingers. You could be like, go to my bio. No, the link need to be right there in order for them to click it.
That's true. Oh, that's so true.
Oh, yeah. So it's going to change the game if it actually hits. Did you want to wrap up on it real quick, Marquise? What you think about it?
Yeah, I agree 100% with everything everybody said. I think it's interesting too, though, because like you said, we're so driven by numbers, right? And we toggle everything by, you know, the numbers. So not being able to see like what your competitors may have, I feel like that may drive people more crazy than not being able to actually being able to see the numbers and the numbers low. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how that affects people just themselves as they're posting content.
Yeah, you should see my face. Like, I'm being honest. I'll go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but also I was going to say, also just from like a sponsorship standpoint as well, like for sponsors and for you as an influencer or a micro-influencer, you definitely got to make sure your analytics are on par because you can't really use having these inflated likes that, you know, I'm not saying people may be buying or not buying likes, but you can't necessarily use that as a measuring stick anymore.
There you go.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
There you go.
So I know.
But yeah, so it's going to make people have to be on their game a lot more for sure.
Exactly, because if they're relying on likes right now, they would change it. And like you said, the analytics, if they're not on par, man, that's going to hurt. A lot of sponsorship, influencer deals. Like, just to give you an example, when I got an influencer deal with Mizuno's this year, I sent them my analytics. Same thing with the hot chocolate race this past year, you know, when I was doing promotions for them. I sent them the analytics. Like, I showed them the proof of what reach I actually have, the demographics, et cetera, like that. So it's out there. So people are going to start asking these companies, these social media agencies are going to start asking for analytics. Right. If you haven't realized that already, it's going to change.
Did you guys hear about that one? It was an influencer who a company reached out to her to sell their T-shirts, and she had like over 1 million followers, but she didn't sell one T-shirt.
Yeah. I've heard about that. Yeah.
I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, like, how much of an influencer are you if you can't sell one?
Right.
You can't sell any. Like, you got 1 million followers, so they're not following. They're not impacted by you.
No, they like what they see.
Exactly.
They like what they see. I was about to share a story, but I was like,
never mind.
I say bring it.
1 million people.
No, I'm with it.
I'm just saying, like, if you have that many followers and you're not bringing, if people don't respond to you,
right,
then really you're not an influencer.
That has happened to me before with a particular event. We invested in getting a influencer, and you know, her likes was popping, her comments was popping. One person from her Instagram came out to the event, and I was like, that's when it kind of opened my eyes. It's like,
Was this last summer? Was it last summer?
That summer.
No. I feel like I talked to you about this. I feel like we did talk about it, but go ahead.
This was February.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. JB's like, I want to know.
Hey, you kiss me and you were left out.
Right. I just feel it getting smaller and smaller there. Like, my hair.
I ain't want to say no names or nothing, but that
Exactly.
stuff out there, like, it's real. Like, it's really real. And that's when I saw, I was just kind of like, there's a difference between the, people, your audience liking what they see versus the impact that you have. Because if you got impact, people are pulling up to the scene where you drop in, you know what I'm saying? But if they just like what they see because you showing some good stuff to show, then they gonna double tap. They will comment, but are they gonna pull up?
Yeah.
Are they gonna buy that program that you put out?
You're right, because you barely can get friends to pull up. So
Feel me? That's a whole different subject.
I'm just saying,
That's a whole different subject.
I learned a long time ago, you cannot rely on friends.
No.
You just can't, it's crazy because I get more support from people from the outside than inside. It's just so strange. I don't know why it works that way.
But that's what you want. That's what you want initially.
Yeah, you're right.
Because your friends, y'all have stuff in common, but y'all don't have everything in common.
True.
So, but if you can get people that you don't even know pulling up, like I think you and Queez were talking yesterday. You was like, these people talk about coming to Fitcation. We don't even know. I'm like, yo, like that's
Don't
big.
even know.
Don't even
Impact.
know.
Impact.
But that's
Yeah.
big.
And I've learned too, and I've stopped trying to just force my entrepreneurship mindset even on my friends, because I know if they want it, they'll come to me at their own speed. But now I'll just naturally gravitate towards the people who are doing what I want to do, and it's not forced at all,
Yes.
But I had to get there because for a while I was trying to tell everybody and their mom in the family, you should be an entrepreneur. You should be an entrepreneur. You should start a side hustle. And I'm like, you know what?
That was
Let me fall back. And
That was me exactly. But everybody, it reminds me of Harriet Tubman saying, she says, I freed 1,000 slaves, but I could have saved 1,000 more. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody doesn't have the mindset that you have, and that just goes to show you that your mindset is unique. If you can think outside of the box, if you can think about this freedom that you have for yourself, because that's basically what it is. Entrepreneurship is we're trying to get our way to freedom. Still making sacrifices though, but we're trying to make our way to freedom. That's what I love so much about the race. How they were able to show us that, like, the sacrifices that were made from our ancestors, they fought for it. They were making their way to freedom. They had to have the courage to do that. So entrepreneurship is that's a whole different beast. It's a whole different beast.
I remember the question.
Okay. Go back to it.
Comment/question, but this is you're singled out. This is me, Coco.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing. But I do want
ladies
your
only.
So, have you ever came up with this elaborate idea or something like? I keep a vision book. I do vision board, but I do a vision book. I can add and subtract as I go, and I can write how I felt about it, whatever the case. So yeah, that's for another day. But it's ongoing process, something I can always edit.
Right.
So I wrote down a vision and something that I wanted. But have you ever really visualized something and then someone pops up with that same idea, but they're actively doing it and you haven't started yet, and you may or may not know the person, but you kind of fall back because you don't want to follow suit because now it looks like you're trying to do something that the other person is doing, and maybe y'all have community people in I hate to say the word followers, so I use the word community.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
So in common, so it may look like you're trying to be similar. We can't be like each other, but trying to be similar when that's really not the case. It's just everything hasn't fallen 100% in alignment. You're like still in your process while the other person may be doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have I came across that before?
Yeah, or experienced it for yourself, or
I have, but I never really let it stop me. Like I continue to do it because I just feel like though we may have the same ingredients, our recipe ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah.
So I continue to just. I always say, why reinvent the wheel? Just paint it a different color. Like put your swag on it. So that's what I've always been doing because I will have an idea or of the such, and I may see somebody else doing it, but I use that as, it's going to sound bad, but it's a tactic. I use it as competitor analysis. Well, they're doing it like this, so this is how I'm going to do it. I don't really let that get in my way. Now, before, when I started like the whole branding thing and I really didn't know who I was, my niche, my identity, I will say if I had an idea and I saw somebody already doing it, I would feel some type of way. I'll be like, they ain't even doing it. They're right. Who am I to comment on what they're doing? Let me just go ahead, put my swag on it, and turn it up the way that I would. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But that's where I'm at with it.
Okay, because, I go back and forth, and I had to give myself a pep talk the other day.
Why?
Because I was like, okay, so many people on this earth.
Right.
One single person will never reach everybody.
Right.
That's why it's so many people in each market or niche, whatever you got.
Right.
God places more than one person with a certain gift or, in a certain lane. So maybe I'm designed to reach this group and the other person that group and the next person that group. And even if along the way we're similar, we're still going to appeal to different people.
Right.
So we still have to do what we need to do, because if we don't carry out our assignment, if you know the word, he will find someone else who will.
Listen, God, if you don't get that blessing, he going to pass it to somebody else.
Exactly.
Because blessings don't get canceled. They don't get canceled.
Yeah, they just get moved over.
And what did I put? Procrastination is disobedience.
Even my grandmother used to tell me that growing up. She was like, basically delayed obedience. Delayed obedience is still disobedience.
Wow.
Yeah, because I have procrastination is something I struggle with. I struggle, guys, with procrastination. Just saying.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
But no more.
You acknowledged it. You acknowledged it. Now it's time to get the method. You put the methods in motion, because you got to know yourself in order to, be like, all right, I'm gonna do something better for 2020.
For real, because when that disobedience sets up, you don't realize you're sacrificing something on the back end. That's all I gotta say.
Stop preaching.
So,
Preaching.
yeah, I know. So we got one last thing we want to talk with Coco about before she gets out of here. Well, actually, it shouldn't even talk about. It's a fun segment where we're all gonna ask you these random questions. We're gonna ask you random 3 questions, couple questions, just off the top of our dome. Just answer as fast as you can. Don't really think about it too hard. Just fun stuff.
I'm a thinker.
So, first question is, have you ever cried at a movie?
Yes.
You have? What movie was that?
Yes. There was this one movie with Cameron Diaz. I don't remember the title, but her daughter was having cancer. But I'm one of those empathetic people. I can really feel what the main character is feeling. So I'm a cry, laugh. I'm in the movie.
Okay. So, what is the stupidest thing someone has dared you to do? I know it's a random question, right? Is this what is it?
Skinny dip.
Skinny. Well, okay, and you did it?
No.
She said no. Let's see. Next question I was gonna say is, what part of your body could use a little lotion right now?
My knees.
So go ahead. I'll let you go, Chris.
No,
if you got any.
You were wrong for that. I just want you to know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was like you
cold.
about to make somebody put their finger in their mouth and go wipe off the ash or something real quick.
Oh my God.
So you trying to tell me about lip chap or something, CJ? What's up?
So,
Nah, okay. A question for you. What was your favorite childhood TV show?
too many. All that. Hey Arnold. Doug. Powerpuff Girls. Samurai Jack. Like Saturday cartoons. Friday night. It was lit.
Okay.
All right. I definitely remember some Doug. I have to ask you this question because I've definitely seen you do some music cameos to different musicians on your stories before. But who is your favorite musician?
Beyonce. And I know she's not a musician, but that voice, that talent.
I don't know if that's fair. Everyone's gonna say Beyonce. Give me somebody else.
Musician.
That's default.
Musician.
Yeah, or we can just say artist.
Masego. I like Masego. Masego. He's jazzy. You know what I'm saying? I will say I opened up that Kanye West this morning. Kanye is definitely a musical genius.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I didn't see you do some nice ones to Rick James too, though.
I do like me some Rick James. Love me some. Give it to me, baby.
All right, and then last question is, what is your favorite food?
Oh, I'm not picky. I like it all. I like it all. I just have a very open palate. I can't tell you. I love fried chicken.
Okay, so we can take you pretty much anywhere, and you ain't gonna push the playback.
So I have a different question. Have you ever thrown up after a workout before?
Ooh. That's a good.
You know it happens.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't actually.
Okay.
I haven't actually.
Me neither.
I've seen some of my clients do it.
Yeah, I'm looking like, where did that come from?
Right.
I haven't ever reached up.
Okay. You're just releasing toxins. Your body's rejecting some stuff. So,
What's the biggest growth challenge you had to face?
CJ told me not to think, but that's a deep
Yeah,
question.
you hit her with that one. That's a tough one.
deep.
It just came off the dome. I'm just saying.
Okay. What we were talking about earlier with fitness and vanity.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got into like working out and everything, I was one of those, like, I was trying to be an Instagram model. Like, if you guys scroll all the way back to like, it's like 2012. I was trying to be an Instagram model, and God had to humble me. Because when you're doing it for the wrong reasons, your mind ain't together. And we all know like health and fitness is this mind, body, soul, spirit type deal. But I was just doing it externally for the vanity of it. That was something that I had to like really open my eyes to. I'm like, oh, well, I ain't no different from what I thought I was different from. You know, so that's why I come from a position of always making sure that I'm helping those fitness professionals who are purposeful. That's a great question. Thank you.
Hey, things I would like to know.
Yeah.
Final one. We're going to keep this one lighthearted. What is in your fridge right now?
Gumbo.
Tequila. Tequila.
Some wine. We got some Sutter's home wine.
Okay.
Almond milk.
Balance.
Apples. Yeah. Like, I don't believe in deprivation. I eat well, but then I'm a turn up too. So I'm responsible.
Cool. Well, Miss Coco Chanel Jonez, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank y'all so much for having me. This was fun.
We got to do this again because obviously we're going to talk about Vacation 2020.
Yeah.
We got a lot. We got to talk about the race this year.
Yes.
We got a lot to talk about this year. So we definitely appreciate you coming on.
Get it,
and
Jamie.
Jamie's over here dancing, y'all. So we will see you guys next time.
It was
Thanks so
amazing
much.
talking to you all. It was definitely amazing talking to you, and just looking forward to seeing what you're going to be bringing to the Vacation 2020 for everyone.
Man, Marquise, I'm just ready to turn up with y'all for real. Make this 2020 vision for this Antigua vacation.
I like that. It just like 2020 vision for 2020. I like it.
Got CJ nodding his head. Yeah, right.
All right. See you guys later. Take care.
Peace.
Bye. No.